live. Woohoo! It has been a while since I have done this, and what I am doing today is actually not a video game stream at all. I am going to be doing a banjo stream. I know that some people have followed me for watching me doing some practice of the instruments that I am learning, and it has been some time since I have done one of these, so it'll be really fun to get back and doing it. These are incredibly casual. Don't expect any spectacular skill, although since this has been some time, there will be an improvement from last time of my banjo playing skills. I think it's probably been about a year, so a year is a long time to get good, or get better noticeably at banjo, especially since I have only been playing 2 years as of, well, basically today. It was this week, 2 years ago, that I got a banjo in the first place. So it will be fun to do that, and yes, it is going to be fun. So thank you so much for joining me. And Light is here. Hello! Thank you so much for coming here, even if it is just for the purpose of roasting me. I will accept the company, even if it is obnoxious full. So, here we go. So, here's the deal. I'm part of a bluegrass jam group, and you can meet up to every single week to play songs, and there's a list of songs that you gotta do. And the problem with me is that I know half of the songs decently and the other half not decently. So the goal of today is to get my buttocks onto some of the songs that I am not as good at and really try to polish them up so that any song that gets called at the group, I will sound okay. Let me grab my tuner, which is my cell phone, but you know what, same difference. Well, I can be just as obnoxious back, so you watch out. Alright, the all handy-dandy sand corset phone app. I should be getting paid for doing a promotion. And we're sharp. Might as well start in tune even if the rest of the banjo won't be in tune after, a few seconds. Isn't it great? My sister got me this shirt. It makes me very happy. She knows me a little well. Looks like every single string is equally sharp, but we're gonna be picky. Oh, you're flat. Right on the money. Joining, and yay for banjo indeed. Man, it has to be such a long time since I've done one of these. Oh, my sister is the best. I freaking love her. Okay, so I'm going through, and Jaya brought up on Discord, are you going to play any of the songs that you talked about during the stream yesterday with Carmen San Diego? Yes. One of the songs that I need to get better at is Bill Cheatham. Hilariously enough, the song that I identified as Bill Cheatham was not Bill Cheatham. That was a different song. But, I do actually need to work on Bill Cheatham and the song that I got it mixed up with. Both. So, might as well start with that. For the actual Bill Cheatham. Here we go. So this one I'm not terrible at. But it could use some polishing. See, we're already out of tune again. Whatever. Start nice and slow on that one. This song has a few problem spots for me, and I am happy to pick out what the problem spots are and why they are a problem spot. So, there's this one part in the B section that involves a pinky reach, and with my tiny little hands, it's not so fun. So it's this part right here. Pinky right here. And that pinky is very hard for me to get. See, I missed it. Okay, the banjo's making buzzes. Let me pull up my audio. We're going to have some weird audio feedback so I can hear myself and see what it sounds like to you. We're going to have some weird audio feedback so I can hear myself and see what it sounds like to you. We're going to have some weird audio feedback so I can hear myself and see what it sounds like to you. Yep, it's peaking. Thank you. Amazing. We're going to have some weird audio. So let's drop my volume a little bit. Dropped it down 6 decibels. How's this? Thank you for letting me know. Still peaking. Amazing. Still peaking. Amazing. It's better. It almost seems like it's my microphone. Hello, and thanks for coming. It is really cool to see you. And hey Mo, welcome too. So, it looks like I'm just gonna have some bad sounds. Because I do not want to get a new microphone at this point in time. That would be way too much setup. So if you're fine with the amount of buzz peaking that it's currently at, no, it's definitely the microphone. Because I'm just using the webcam mic at this point in time, because that's the one that takes the least amount of setup, because I am really lazy, and anything else beyond that gets to be a pain in the buttocks. So, yeah. It's good enough. It's good enough for just a really casual hangout with people. It does not need to be professional quality, so, yeah. I think it sounds... I'm gonna play a little bit more and hear myself again. And see how much I hate it. And see how much I hate it. And see how much I hate it. Yeah, I can live with that. I don't like it, but there's nothing I can really do about it at this point in time. Yeah. Okay, there, I should be back again. This is what happens when you don't stream for half a year. There it goes. Okay. Okay, I thought I was deleting the filter, instead it deleted the entire microphone on OBS. That was not clear. Alright, anyway, let's go. And work on some of the songs. So I was talking about how on Bill Cheatham there's this one section that really is a pain in the ass because of some of the pinky work that's on there. The problem is I'm usually more accurate if I finger this chord starting by putting my pinky on first and then my other fingers. But based on the notes that are played first, I have to put the other fingers on first and then stretch my pinky out. And that reverse motion I haven't really gotten stabilized, especially with the very, very, very small size that my pinky is. It's basically the size of the damn string. So that's a very prone area to fault in this song. So yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming and hanging out, and let's try to get this song a little bit cleaner. Better to delete it than... There are worse things that I could do. There are plenty of worse things I could do and probably will do by the end of this stream because we are that professional. We are the professionalist of professionality. Okay, let's see. Ooh, you really went sharp. The G string is the biggest pain in the ass for getting it in tune. It always goes out of tune in like half a second. I hate it. The popular banjo tune, the popular banjo joke. Half of the time a banjo player is playing out of tune and the other half they're tuning. The banjo is very easy to tune because you can cross-reference with other strings. The problem is it just does not stay in tune. Thank you! Thank you for the hat comment. I was too lazy to put on a wig today, so I'm like, we're just gonna hat it up. The hat looks totally fine. It's big on my head, but who cares? Okay, so let's do a little bit of metronome work because metronomes are the life of life. So the fun thing about this is, you guys might remember from the last streams, I'd go up to maybe 100 BPMs. Oh, we're gonna go higher than 100, we're going way higher. I have definitely gotten way better. Yep. Yep, we're gonna start at 72 and just push this little pupper up. If you stop on the note, that can help. Chanting pines. Yeah, the point of like all these songs is to neum. The point of this stupid instrument is to neum. Every single time I'm like, oh, that's a nice slow banjo song, I'll be able to get it. You actually put the metronome to it and then you just want to murder everything within like 5 seconds of you. really, what you can do on banjo is, because it's folk tunes, you can always just, you know, change the melody. But I feel like that's sort of lazy and cutting corners at this point in the learning process, and I would rather get good at the things I'm weak at. Yeah, I love this the twang. Glad it's good to hear in the background while y'all are doing things. It's a nice song. It's a nice, cute little song, this one right here. Speaking of alternate places and alternate things you can do, the one line right here, there's several different ways you can play it. I like putting in a little bit of a chromatic sound to it. So some people play it... I'm trying to get used to it. So yeah, just this nice little major. I like putting in this note right here. I love putting that in there. Some people do, some people don't. Some people actually put that note in both times, so it's a... So you might hear... So I do sort of a little bit of the combination of both, but that just goes to show a little bit of the variation that you might hear across players. Orchestra tuning flashbacks. At least frickin' orchestra instruments, you stay in the same tuning the entire time. You'll notice throughout this stream I'll be twisting my pegs and changing the tuning of this instrument, just depending on what the song is. So for instance, since I'm playing in the key of A, the top string right here needs to drone on the A, because the top string is more or less a drone as far as its function is concerned. So, this gets cranked up a lot depending upon what key I'm playing in. Oh, Light likes the variation. Thank you. Alright, let's try to get back to that. Little pinky section, and at least get back to a faster speed. I'm feeling really comfortable today, so I might do a little bit of this and then just go on to the next one and be like, close enough for tonight. Gotta give... Oh, come on. It was only a matter of time before people started making bad innuendos. spot in the middle of this I should be practicing my backup to on this song. I've not made any good ideas for what to do on a backup on this song. Thank you, dudes. I say, as though I should be being more picky. Well, I am getting the pinky a little bit more accurately. As I say, and I miss it twice in a row. Let's land on it. There it is. Yeah, there's a lot of faking it. I always fake that note during the jam sessions because it's just such a pain in the finger. Okay, yeah, that's going clean though. That's still clean and we're at 92. Pushing a little. That was it. Okay, that is not terrible. Oh, like I remember that. I don't remember almost any of the viola parts I played, except for the Dvorak my freshman year, because I was so obsessed trying to get that right. And I know you weren't there that year. Okay, let's look at the freaking chords for a few seconds. And see if I can do anything interesting instead of just really boring crap. So, 1s 4 1 1 4 4 1 1 1 4 5 1 1 4 5 1 1 4 1 5 1 4 5 1 1 5 1. Okay, so it actually goes pretty fast. There's several times that you're playing multiple chords in a measure, which would be a great thing to come up with a frickin' part instead of me just playing, you know. Really basic crap here. So let me think. So the B section is the hardest part, so I should probably reverse engineer from the B part. So 1 4 5 1 in the first two measures. that would be a pain in the ass. I like that. So I'm doing a forward reverse roll. No, get away. No rickrolling. So for people who aren't too familiar with the chording thing on banjo, banjo chords are one of my favorite things in the world. After banjo, I think guitar chords are the dumbest thing in the world. Because, look at this. Check this out. It is tuned to an open chord. Because I'm in the key of A, I am tuned just to I'm just tuned to the A chord. So that means that when worse comes to worse and I start to get in, you know, whatever weird crap is happening with this left hand, I'm like, oh crap, I'm going out of my way, shit's not going well, I can reset. And just hit an open chord and rest for a second before I get my fingers back on, which is amazing. And then you just have chords in other positions too, so open one chord. This is the lowest 4 chord you can get. Lowest 5 chord you can get. Then this is where you start over again. There's the 1 chord, but it's transposed now. Up in inversion. There's another really cool handy trick with banjo chording that's the most amazing thing ever. So the tuning is G, D, G, B, D. Notice that there's 2 G's and 2 D's. What's great about this is that with the top string being a drone, you usually aren't chording anything on the top string, so you don't have to worry about the top string for putting a finger on it. And then you just have to deal with there's 2 D's, which means that either you're doing the same thing on both D's, so you have 2 strings where you're just repeating the same thing, or you just don't touch one of the strings and you can make your chord even simpler. So a lot of the times people don't touch the 4th string, this one right here, the lowest note, and you'll just chord for 3 strings. This is a perfectly acceptable D chord. I don't have to put that down. I can actually keep my finger off, see? So, that's one of the nice things too, is you usually chord the top 3 notes, and you only make a special lunge for the 4th note that you could use in a chord if you really want that pitch on that one string. So that makes, again, that makes the banjo chords so freaking easy to do. And then, of course, there's these wonderful bar chords where all you just do is... I don't know if you can see it. I'm basically just doing this. It's hard to do with that angle. And that's another really easy chord that you can do. So, chording on banjo, I think, is pretty simple. Once you figure it out, the problem is getting your fingers fast enough to move between the different positions and whatever hell other stupid ornamentation stuff that you want to do at the same time. Because, that sounds cool, but you're moving pretty fast. So... So you just have to really be ready, and you know, you can do... We've got to do Blackberry Blossom. Alright, sounds good. I am going to actually have to keep thinking on Build Cheatham and what I want to do chord-wise, because I can just be really lazy and do... something like that. So, a basic accompaniment is still acceptable. I just feel like I should do something a little bit more interesting. Blackberry Blossom, I do have that one memorized, but I might as well actually look at the chord progression on that one, because Blackberry Blossom is actually one where lots of people sort of laugh to themselves if someone requests Blackberry Blossom, because the solo part isn't hard, because you're just playing the melody line, but the accompaniment part, you're constantly moving on the A section. It's a lot of movement. 1 5 4 1 4 1 2 5 1 5 4 1 4 1 5 1, 2 chords a measure. So you're really booking it. And yeah, folk music. Don't you just love the 3 chords, sometimes 4? Blackberry Blossom has 5 chords. Yeah. So let's see. Let's get Blackberry Blossom out of the key of A. And speaking of retunings, see? Now I'm going to play in the key of G. This baby's in the wrong pitch now. See, the funny thing is I learned 2 versions of Blackberry Blossom. So one of the first songs that I learned was Blackberry Blossom, but it was a beginner version of it. And then my teacher later went back and was like, here's an actual better, more hard version. And I just learned that pretty quickly. So depending on what you do with Blackberry Blossom, like a lot of bluegrass songs, they're either beginner songs, intermediate, or advanced songs. Like, you can do all these things. No? We're going back to G. You're just going to have to deal with the G string. Oh, mother of balls, we're out of tune again. Because we took the capo off. What a surprise. I mean, usually I would, just test my ear, but since I have an audience, we're gonna, actually test the tuner. Mother of balls. Why is the B string cooperating? Usually the B is the least cooperative. Close-y fucking enough. Uh-oh, there's a question. Do you think there's any music with A? Oh, of course you're gonna say that. my favorite, least favorite chord. Alright. It is fast. The funny thing about how banjo music gets notated, though, is they usually notate it in quarter notes. The quarter notes are a fucking lie, but they write it in quarter notes. It's hilarious. You're like, no, those are actually 16ths, but, you know. For the metronome, you have to. Blackberry Blossom, so here we go. It's been a long time since I've done this one. Yep. Yep. You know, lots of muses almost killed mine. Just gonna point that out. So much going on that when I do accompaniment, I literally just do just the chords. There's no time to do anything else. There's a 2 in there. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Why is Gareth so murderable? I don't know. Why do you think people try to murder kings all the time? There's a 2 chord in there. Gosh, that goes fast. Oh, I could cheat. I'm gonna cheat. Sarah is not the judge of everything, though. I reject her reality and substitute it with my own. Ha! Cheating. Cheating time. I found a great way to cheat. Usually, when you play this inversion of the chord, you use the fourth finger right here, this one, to play this note in the chord. But if you take most of the fingers off, you can do the next string up with an open. So, versus. There's a little bit better sound when you have it all choked up just for vibes. But for a really quick moving, having, you know, 2 fingers on strings instead of 4 fingers on strings is going to help me a bunch. Fancier than playing in the root position, so I could do yeah, that's probably the best for chords. Oh, come on. Southern Flavor is one of the hardest ones out there. I will do Southern Flavor. Just let me suffer through one other song first. Let's do Billy and the Low Ground, which is one of the songs that was actually in the stream yesterday. Well, I mean, it wasn't in the stream yesterday, but I was thinking about it a lot. So, let me do that one, because that's one of my weakest. Right. So it switches between 2 finger positions, which is right here, and then up here, which is sort of fun, but it's a whole bunch of repeated notes like a lot of fiddle tunes are, and after a while the repeated notes just go over my head, so I just need to sit down and do that little pain in the butt. It also does a really cool trick called a thumb wrap, where you're actually taking your thumb around and you're actually hitting a string. So it's a rare instance of your thumb actually going up on the 5th string. So you're using all 5 fingers to try to get this puppy out. This is why I need to work on this song. Har, 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 nice pun. No, I'm glad that you could come. It's really nice. Yeah. It is nice, especially since, you know, this works both ways. We get to hang out, and also I get to get my ass on this, which I really need to get to. Okay, we're going to start fairly slow on this one. Bear with me. Going all the way back to 60. I probably don't need to go back to 60, but we're doing it anyway. Get the hat on there. Nope, we need the 60. So there's another really fascinating thing about this song. One of the ways that they get a lot of the notes in close succession is taking advantage of the 2 G strings. So, you know, these are, the G string and the D string. So you have 2 G strings, which are the first and the third, or this one. Well, in this one. It's actually the 5 and the 3, whatever. The top note is a D string, but here's the thing about this, is based upon where this G starts and where the outer string on the other side starts, note what happens when I fret them at the same location as I go up. Both strings on the outer end, when you fret them, are the same note. So if you need to do some really obnoxious finger work with notes in close succession, you can take advantage of the fact the 2 outer strings are going to be the same pitches. Alright, enjoy that laptop restart as I suffer through this. That was creative use of notes. I do not know. There's just a lot of scribbles on this page, so I'm just going to make up an ending. Close enough. Alright, yeah, I definitely need to work on this one, as you can tell. there. That's cute. I could do that. Maybe? Yeah. My own creative interpretation. It's not easy, but it's fun. Both sound-wise and technique-wise when you get it. Yeah. You know what? So this is a very popular song, but I do not like this arrangement for the most part. It's cute, but it's in something called melodic banjo style, which means that you play the melody note by note, and I'm not as much of a fan of it. But since it's a variation song, I'm actually going to look up, I might have this in another banjo book, which is going to be by another melodic instructor, but maybe his version I'll like a little bit better. So I'm actually going to take a look and see if I have this in another book. So I'm coming right back. Out of laziness, I actually grabbed like all of my books in just a little chunk. I need to get more, but here's some books. So, this book is... We're going through this. It's a Tony Trischka book. Tony Trischka is a pretty big name. So, let's see. I would not be surprised if Billy and the Low Ground is in this book. So, I'm going to look and see if we do have it, because seeing if there's an alternate could make me pretty happy. Oh gosh, the list is not in frickin' alphabetical order. Okay, Fiddle Tunes. Leather Breeches, Hog Eye, Cluckle, Hen, Old Joe, Clark, Mississippi Sawyer, Cripple Creek, Growling Old Man and Woman. Oh, that's cool. Sally Ann, Kitchen Girls, Green Willis, Hell Among the Yearlings, St. Anne's Reel, Richmond Cotillion, Salt River, Elzig's... Really? Elzig's Farewell's in here, huh? Okay, Forked Deer, Whiskey Before Breakfast, Kingston Springs, Irish Washerwoman, Cuckoo's Next, Black Mountain Rack. Oh, that would be useful. Bonaparte's Retreat, and Galway Hornpipe. Oh, come on. How do you not have Billy in the Low Ground? Is it in another section? Please have Billy in the Low Ground. Billy, please, 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 please. Ooh, poor Ellen Smith, how she was found, shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground. Her body was mangled and all cast about, blood marks the spot where poor Helen was found. Dill Pickle Rag's in here, that's fun. Nope, I do not have another version of Billy in the Low Ground in this book. There is a slight chance of it in one of Earl's books. Slight, but I doubt it. But we're checking anyway. So this is the original 1968 version of Earl Scruggs' banjo book. Most popular selling one. Alongside Pete Seeger's book, which I do not have. Earl did play Billy in the Low Ground as accompaniment, which is why I'm guessing this is not going to be in here. But every once in a while you get surprised, so for the sake of thoroughness, if nothing else. Yeah, that's what I thought, it's not in here. And the other one has a slightly different song variation. This is the 2005 update. Yes, I have both. Yes, I can explain the reasons why I have both. It is a very nerdy reason, but in my defense, it was a very fascinating thing to get both. Mostly I wanted to see how much was changed due to both the biographical update that Earl Scruggs wrote, and also there was some controversy involving this book, and I wanted to see how much changed based upon the controversy, and the answer is a lot. Oh gosh, my obsession, Mr. Earl. Okay, yep, and as I thought, there is no Billy and Low Ground in this book either. Earl, my wonderful child, my wonderful sweet baby. There's a picture of him with his youngest son, Steve, in the picture. I'm trying to get it without the glare. There he is. Banjo extraordinaire. He's the reason that bluegrass banjo is a thing, basically. He did not invent the string style, but he's the one who popularized it and made everybody in the United States and the world be like, "Ah!" and start to learn from him. So basically, the reason why there was a controversy involving his bluegrass banjo book, this is one of the least friendly things about Earl that you hear. Usually you hear just compliments upon compliments of his personality and yada yada yada. What happened is, in the 1968 version of his book, the first version of his book, he relied very heavily on a young man named Bill Keith to basically put the entire book together. Bill Keith was a northerner who actually read music and wrote tab, of which Earl did neither. Earl was entirely an ear player. So Bill Keith wrote out all of the tabs. Bill Keith wrote out the exercises. Bill Keith was listening to Earl's compositions and annotating them and then playing it back and being like, did I get it right? So, you can imagine this entire printed book could not have happened without Bill Keith. There's no possible way. And the version also came with a record where Earl played some of the exercises, and of course Bill had to play the exercises first to Earl and be like, this is what this one sounds like, because again, Earl can't read the music. Then Earl plays it back, and Bill Keith tapes it all, and then they make a record of it. Bill Keith got this much money for participating in it. This is why it's a controversy. And this would have gone completely unnoticed if Bill Keith had remained just an everyday banjo picker that nobody else knew about, but the problem was Bill Keith became one of the leading creators of melodic banjo style and one of the most well-known banjo pickers after Earl. He played as part of the Bluegrass Boys with the father of bluegrass at about the same time that this book was written. One later Bill Keith said, the Scruggs family never compensated me for this book, and when I approached them and told them, we shook hands on this, they said, well, a handshake doesn't hold up in court. And I got very offended and pissed off, and I sued them. And so, he got compensation through an out-of-court settlement or something like that. The Keith Scruggs tuners are a whole other part of that. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on that, too. Yeah. This was all involved in that, too. We're not gonna sidetrack into the Keith Scruggs tuners either. Oh, yes, we are. Fuck you. Okay, during the same time that the, banjo book was being developed and Bill Keith was staying with the Scruggses and, helping out create the entire tab and everything, Bill Keith also invented an improvement upon a tuning device that Earl invented. So Earl invented a very crude cam device where you would put it on your banjo, you would actually drill fucking holes into the head right here to give you extra pegs that would allow you to turn and twist it, and so you could actually play melody lines while twisting your tuning pegs as part of the melody, which is absolutely a batshit idea, and yet somehow he does it. I am not doing this because that would be a great way for me to accidentally break a string, trying to demonstrate the fucking hell that Earl came up with. So, Earl did come up with the original idea, but Bill Keith and a friend heavily improved upon the design. They showed it to Earl. Earl was like, hey, that's awesome, that's cool. And they made a deal that if Earl had some shares in the company, they could name the tuners the Scruggs Keith tuners, even though Earl had nothing to do with these particular tuners being invented. So, you know, Earl got a great deal from Bill Keith financially, being business partners with him on Keith's end of the invention deal. But when the banjo book came around that sold 1 million copies and Keith got zero money out of it, you know, Bill Keith is like, excuse me? So yeah, there was a 1981 lawsuit about that. And you can actually find some of the lawsuit records online, not saying that I've looked. Anyway, so yeah, that's sort of where that ended up. Earl and Bill Keith never made up. Bill Keith tried decades later to make up with Earl later, but Earl just avoided eye contact and didn't talk to him. Earl's pretty shy, so I'm sure he's was not going to be very willing to try to talk to Bill Keith, even if Bill Keith seemed like he was going to be friendly and approachable, because Bill Keith tried. He did try to get back in Earl's good graces a few decades later. Okay, yeah, and Earl's wife, Louise, was extremely financially oriented. She was the business partner of the entire enterprise. There are some records that I have read where Louise vetoed Earl doing things. So how much of this is Louise, how much of this is Earl? You can make an argument about this. Anyway, yeah, so all this going back to the banjo book. So when 2005 rolls around, you know, Earl Scruggs is still alive and Bill Keith is still alive, and Earl wants to do a second edition of his book. Well, of course you don't want to have, thank you, Bill Keith, for all these tabs in the introduction of your book anymore. So Earl got somebody else's tabs, and they inserted in an entirely new set of tabs and basically erased all of Bill Keith's work as much as they could in the second edition of the book. Bill Keith isn't mentioned anywhere in the book, but obviously, you know, still the entire formatting and concept of the book is, still Bill Keith. So yeah. Mo, don't tempt me. I would be so tempted to. I would love to. I've thought about it. I have absolutely thought about it. It would be so fucking... I'm so tempted. I have almost done it several times. I've almost done a podcast several times. I really have. We can talk about it. The difficulty is whether I want to do it, like, you know, just me chatting alone, or, you know, how many other friends are on the line egging me on, you know, and stuff like that. So, yeah. I fucking hate you guys. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I care about this shit, and that's why I have both copies of the book, is because I wanted to see those changes, and they are very stark, and it is so fascinating. Wow, we are not playing Billy and the Lowgrand anymore. I've gotten sidetracked. 10 minutes of music mixed with audience participation here and there. Thanks, no. Yeah, that could be fun. Animatronic scream. This is Cumberland Gap. Earl Scruggs' arrangement, based on the second edition of the book. Alright, back to Billy and the Lowground. I have to at least pretend that I practiced this one. not the banjo style I want to really get good at, if that makes sense. Most screaming. Okay, so for the podcast, there was one time where I very seriously was going to do it with, like, me, Silas on the other end egging me on, because Silas knows a lot of my weak points because I've info dumped at him way too long, and then, like, a third person as a guest just to listen on and be like, what the fuck? That never materialized because, I got into, like, my, bluegrass Tumblr blog a little bit, but I would love to do it. It would be fun. I guess I get nervous because I'm not exactly a podcast type person listening to, so it's not like I would exactly want to format it based upon the norms of what podcasts actually do. And I also get scared about people, you know, who actually know their shit coming in and listening to a millennial going off and, you know, calling the father of bluegrass Big Boy Billiam or something stupid like that. But I mean, you know, it definitely would not take a butt-fuck ton of time. It would just be recording out the episodes. Because it's not like I don't know what I would say each time. I know what I would say. It's easy to get me opinionated and going off. In fuck convention! Yeah, thank you! I can do my own fucking thing. That is always true. Alright. Well, maybe I will resurrect the idea. That is such an acrobatics song. There's so much acrobatics going on here. Let's try to do 70. Alright, 70. Yes, I would be saying a lot of things like that. To be fair, that would make it more interesting to some listeners. Yeah, you guys are right. And also this complete stupid passion of me, like, saying stupid shit would make it more entertaining to the average audience member. Okay! 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 But Del McCurry and Marty Stewart are icons of hair. They fucking are. Look, man, I do not care how old they are. They are glamorous, and they always will fucking be. I hate you. See, look, this is Silas intentionally egging me the fuck on. Ugh! Come on. Come on. Ah! Ah! Look, man, just saying, if Marty Stewart and Del are that iconic for their hair that they get interview questions fairly regularly about it, it means that they have their hair game on. Fuck you, Silas. Just fuck you. Okay. Man, I've never played it that fast and actually been clean about it. I'm pretty proud of that. Oh man, fuck you. Fuck you, just fuck you to oblivion. Okay, I would say that's enough progress for one day. That is definitely an improvement on Billy and the Low Round. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the advertisement, Light. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, advertise away about the fuck, marry, kill you made me do on that blog the other day. Gosh. Yep. Okay. We'll talk about doing the fucking blog. And if anybody wants to be a guest for, like, the third person so that there can be one person in the background being like, what the fuck, Haddock, just holler at me. Yeah. Okay, does this mean I have to go through... It was a very good fuck, marry, kill, and I would continue it, which is very stupid of me to say. I'm still angry at you for some of the names that you put over here. Official holler over here. Hey, fuck yeah, Mo! We might take advantage of this shit. Alright, so I guess I have to do Southern Flavor, since Light was saying I should do Southern Flavor. Okay, Scruggs was... Scruggs has not been part of the fuck, marry, kill yet, so I have not given an answer to that. Which is, unfortunately, me giving you fodder, isn't it? Look at Mo being like, what? Yep. Okay, Southern Flavor. He could fit into the marry category too. Light. Fuck, marry, kill, Louise Scruggs. Oh my gosh! No! 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 Okay. No. Okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, fuck. Okay, so the three people on this are now Louise Scruggs, Abigail Washburn, and Dolly Parton. Abigail Washburn, Louise Scruggs, and Dolly Parton. Okay. Okay. Nope, I know the answer to this one. So, for background about who each of these people are, you made me put down my fucking banjo. See, you should be saving this for the podcast. Just kidding. Fuck you. Okay, so Louise Scruggs was the business manager of Flatt and Scruggs. She was a brilliant business mastermind. Lots of people thought she was cold and difficult to deal with. But to be fair, she was the first female manager in Nashville, so you can imagine the sort of sexism that she was going through in the 1950s. So she was hard, and she had to be. So there's a ton of respect for her, but I also have a ton of divided feelings for her because of some of the business choices that she made for Flatt and Scruggs that I profoundly disagree with, and I think contributed to the collapse of Flatt and Scruggs. So she goes under kill. Not to be mean, but compared to the other two, you know, I've got enough divided feelings that Louise Scruggs goes into kill. And then that makes Earl available. Anyway, so Dolly Parton is, I mean, you guys frickin' know who Dolly Parton is. She is an absolute sweetheart, and because she's an absolute sweetheart, I think I could put her under Mary. Abigail Washburn is a wonderful sweetie too, but she is also hot, and she has these wonderful curls. Abigail Washburn is one of the leading banjo pickers alive today in old-time music. So she doesn't play five-finger style, she plays clawhammer. I don't play clawhammer, but it's the... that style where you strum it. She is a goddess. She's an absolute goddess, so having the chance to fuck a goddess would be wonderful. So there's my answer for you. Why? Yeah, I knew Louise would be killed. Yeah, you've heard my divided opinions about Louise. That just can go on for years and years and years and years. Gosh. Yeah. Man, I can go on about all the mistakes I think that she made. But they're mistakes in hindsight. The problem is she was doing it for the money rather than the passion, so she was making choices that were good for the current time period instead of the longevity of the band. So she got incredible response concurrently, but ergo sacrificed the longevity of the sound of the band and the band being able to play long time too. Yes, you have literal opinions that just go freaking on. You know way too much about me. Okay, yeah, so that's the freaking fuck, marry, kill. If you want to do a podcast of fuck, marry, kills and hold on to those, I will do it and just scream at you the entire time. If that is what you want with your life, I will offer that. Does it include the bus fires? Oh, we can talk. We can do an entire podcast just about Flatt and Scruggs pranks and the bus fires and every single stupid thing that happened with Flatt and Scruggs. Bus fires, absolutely. There has to be a podcast with the bus fires. Yes! I love that Mo knows about the bus fires. There's so many good stories with that, though. It's just so funny. I was rereading a funny story the other day that I absolutely love, and this was the story of how a young man called Cleo Davis got hired into his first band. So Cleo Davis was a 19-year-old who knew just a little bit of guitar. You know, he could play in the key of G, so he knew the chords G, C, and D, you know, and he could play, you know, a few songs he'd been growing up hearing and listening to. And he liked some of the brother bands that were at the time in the 1930s, because this was currently the 1930s. And one of the things that was very hot in hillbilly music at the time were brother acts, where it was just brother duos, and each brother played an instrument and they sang, and because their harmonies were close, because they were related to each other, people were like, oh, this is great. So Cleo Davis liked listening to those, and so he'd learned a few songs from some of the brother acts. Well, because he played a little bit of old-time music and he was in a larger city, I believe it was Atlanta, well, one of his friends came up to him one day and was like, check out this newspaper! Check out the newspaper! This is great! And it was an advertisement in the newspaper looking for an old-time singer and guitarist. And the friend was like, oh, Cleo, you gotta do this. And Cleo was like, dude, you don't have the perspective. I really don't know that many songs. Like, not that good. I really don't. I don't even own a guitar. And the friend's like, no, you're coming with me. We're buying a guitar and we're going to have you audition for this because this is your chance. This is how you can get a new job. And Cleo's like, what? And next thing you know, his friends bought a $2.40 guitar and Cleo is being dragged to the place of the auditions. And so introductions go around. Cleo doesn't catch the name of the person who's introducing him. He's a little bit nervous and he's like hiding the guitar behind his back and he feels so awkward. But eventually the auditioner's like, so who's my musician? And Cleo's like, it's me. And the auditioner goes, so what can you play? And Cleo's trying to think about songs he can play, and he remembers one of the records that he has from the Monroe Brothers. And so he says, well, I could play one of the songs from the Monroe Brothers, like, what would you have in exchange? And his auditioner looks at him and goes, you can do what would you have in exchange? And Cleo says, yes. And so he's like, okay, cool. And the audition doesn't start well. First of all, Cleo's store-bought guitar, just, recently bought for, $2, can't tune up to the man's mandolin. So the man has to tune his mandolin down to the clunky guitar. So Cleo's already being embarrassed about this. And then they start singing. And to Cleo's utter horror, once the man starts singing harmony with him, Cleo realizes, I'm singing with the man who made that record. And he's like, Cleo freaks out. He's like, you're one of the Monroe Brothers! And the man goes, yes, I'm Bill Monroe. And Cleo just can't finish the song. He's just like, gah! And he pretends that he forgot the lyrics. But of course, Bill Monroe, his auditioner, has figured out that the man has gotten freaked out because he's like, oh my gosh, I'm actually playing with Bill Monroe right now. And Cleo, tried to calm down, and after, calming down a little bit, they play the B-side of the record as the second audition song, and Cleo gets through maybe a verse and a half before he freaks out again, and, at this point in time, the audition is probably, going horribly in Cleo's mind. He's like, I can't believe my friends dragged me into this. They dragged me into the presence of Bill Monroe, a really well-known Southern name at the time. And then Bill Monroe looks over at his wife, who's listening in on the audition, and Bill Monroe's, what do you think? And she's like, yes, you found what you're looking for. Cleo just got hired as the first Bluegrass Boy. He was Bill Monroe's first bandmate in the Bluegrass Boys, despite every single thing running against the poor guy. So this is how you actually somehow win an audition when you really had no inkling that you could have won an audition. Yeah, that just cracks me the fuck up, because I'm like, wow, the poor guy. You feel for him and all his nervousness, and then you just laugh and you're like, he got hired. Yeah. So that's great. Yep, so that's the story that I was thinking about earlier today, so yeah. And, oh goodness, Light says you'll make Fuck, Marry, Kills precisely for a podcast episode. Bring it on, motherfucker. Actually, I probably shouldn't say that. That's a dangerous idea. Yeah, it worked. It's so funny. This is one of those lessons of you make, 100%, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Well, getting shoved into a trailer with Bill Monroe sometimes means you get hired. Yeah, that cracked me up. Anyway, so speaking of Bill Monroe, Southern Flavor is a song that is a Bill Monroe song from several decades later. In fact, Southern Flavor is the name. It's the title track of the album that got Bill Monroe his Grammy. Southern Flavor is a wonderful song. It's a wonderful jam song, and one of the reasons why it is such a good song to work on is because this motherfucker is a really good improvisation song. So instead of reading this freaking tab stuff, which you're not supposed to do anyway, it's folk music, you get variety. And I need to work on my variety a bit more, but the problem is it's also a screaming fast song, and so, you just have to go for it and just dive into it. I never know what to do right here. Light says, my favorite version of Southern Flavor is absolutely that one live performance Bill played with Marty. Same! Absolutely freaking same. It's a really good performance. And that's one where I should actually listen to the banjo part a bit more and see what the banjo picker does. Yeah, because that's a song. Although what I was playing just now, I'm actually very impressed with myself, because that was tearing into it pretty good and hitting most of the chords. So that's a song that you just have to be aggressive on, and that's what makes it so fun. It's got such a really cool vibe to it, and it's freaking hard. There's one section where I like to go. Let's see, I like to do a little bit of a chromatic thing. And there's all sorts of chords you can do. So. There's the 9 version. Then there's a 12. Let's see. What do they have? So 14 and 12. They have 12, 13. Yep. That's another version of the chord you can do. Get some of the 7s in there. Oh, it's that version. Whoosh. You're very much a fan of the fiddler in that person, but Marty kills it on the guitar too. Yeah. Oh, Bill was a showman. Bill was a showman his whole life. It didn't matter how old that guy got. I just love that Marty collaborates with literally every single extremely famous musician out there. No, it's just a good performance, and there's good chemistry with it. So yeah, Southern Flavor. About other things I can do to make it work. It's a song with a lot of infinite possibilities to it. Yeah, and it's hard because it's not just straightforward chords either. So it's E minor, B, E, G, F sharp, E minor, D, E, D, B, E minor, G, F sharp, E minor. So there's more chords in there than your average folk song too. can do... So I can do a scale right here. That's a hard scale. That would be really good for me to incorporate into some of my improv, would be something like that. Yeah, so something like that. Bill did go extra. He also had the advantage of just constantly being in a place where things can improve. Because being able to hire the best of the best over the decades meant that your musicians knew more and more music theory and started pushing things. So everyone was in a position where you could just, you know, grow forward and forward. So Bill did go extra, and Bill wrote songs that were more theoretically sophisticated than the average folk tune by the end of his career. You know, when you're in a position where you've got nothing but the best of the best to go with you, everyone's going to elevate each other up. Bill has the experience that teaches all of them, but it's not like, you know, he was getting a short end of a stick either. So yeah. It really is. There was one interview I recently read where some of his bandmates were talking about what was so inspiring to them was Bill was always in a constant trajectory upward. No matter what his age, he was in a constant trajectory upward. Whereas most people, they have a career sort of like this. Bill, it was like, you know, which is really fascinating to watch. And it's inspiring in that way. That he's just always moving upward, and he's such a bull-headed, bold, courageously go-get-em musician that he ain't gonna stagnate, he's just gonna grow. Alright, there we go. We did Southern Flavor. Holy cow, I've been going for an hour and a half. Is there any other songs that I should suffer my ass over? Okay, looking through the list of songs. Big Mon, I'm not terrible at. That's another Bill Monroe song. Bill Cheatham, we worked on. Billy on the Low Ground, we worked on. Blackberry Blossom, we touched very lazily. Clinch Mountain Backstep, I'm good on. Cripple Creek, I'm good on. Farewell Blues is not a bad one to work on. Let's do at least a little bit of Farewell Blues. Maybe can call it a night soon, but let's at least get that one in there. Farewell Blues goes back to Earl Scruggs. The guy that I was talking about earlier with the book. Farewell Blues is originally a big band number, so you'll hear a lot of the 1920s jazz bands doing it. And then, okay, Rocky Top I don't officially know, but I can ear play a little bit. Almost got it. Oh, I love that song. I do not want to play that third line today. There we go. That's some Scruggs style picking, although that's technically a Sonny Osborne song. That one needs a little bit working on. Woohoo! I have not, like, really broken out today. Like, I felt in a good banjo mood, but I haven't really, like, just tore out today, which is sort of ironic. Let's get Farewell Blues. Let's get this one going. And then a little slower for a start. Is really fun. Maybe we'll have to tear out at the very end. Do a reward for you guys literally sitting through this much hanging out with me. Thanks, Mo. I appreciate it, and it's wonderful to spend time with you guys. Sorry that I have not responded to every single comment that has gone on in the chat. I have enjoyed them all. I definitely have, and for sure. Fun one. This is not accurate to how Scruggs plays it, because he actually tunes his banjo differently. He has a weird tuning in this song. It's really weird, but I'm playing it in a standard tuning. Let's get fast on this, buddy. We're at 86 right now. Chromaticism of this song is very satisfying. 92! We're starting to Neum. I told you guys I was going to Neum and then I never have this entire rehearsal. You guys keep on getting me distracted and picking the hard songs. Yeah. 96. Four. I know I'm getting a little messy, but I don't care. Yep, but it's not hard. I could go faster, but that would actually be messing things up more. The one chord I don't like is right here. It's not a clean roll that they have right there. It's a very weird roll that I don't like. Should I pick a song where I can actually noom and just show off my stuff from how much I have grown from last time? Oh, Big Scioto is a cool song. I should work on that slightly. Yep, I'll need to work on that one. Flex it? Alright, let's do some easy songs then. I think my fingers are warmed enough that we can do Salt Creek. There's some hard stuff that's on Salt Creek that involves single string picking, which is a technique I usually don't like, but I love Salt Creek. Back to the A that one of our friends loves so much. Yep, we can do it. Here we go. Get the music out of the way and just try to kick some ass. Of course, now that I'm on the spot, we're gonna mess up. Here we go. fun one. That's one I can flex it on. You're the culprit. Alright, and let's see if I can do... You guys have heard this one a lot, but I still love this one. Try to get my hands here so you can see it. That's another one I can flex it pretty hard on. I love that one. Particular lick took me a while to practice because it's syncopated. It's a... and it involves several, your hands switching places with your fingers where you're hitting the strings. Because the thumb usually is hitting on the third string, so there's a little bit of a sneaky trick to get to the fourth string. Just something I picked up on my own because I wanted a little bit of variation in that song. notes are in that one. That's Big Mon that I started right there. That one's fun. I'm getting ideas. Alright. Is there any other song that I really need to crack my butt on tonight? I mean, I know there is, but let's look. Gold Rush! Oh boy, yes I do. Oh, Whiskey Before Breakfast and Big Scioto are the ones that I should smack my butt on next time. But I have been playing for 2 hours, and 2 hours is more than long enough for a banjo stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I am going to call it a night this time, and maybe actually get my buttocks onto doing my actual work hours instead of, music hours. Someday I will get a better microphone so that we do not have to listen to the distortion. But today was not this day, and in the meantime, it was fun simply to do something casual, low-key, and amateur. Good night to you, Lady Stormwind. It was honestly really wonderful to have you stop by and hang out. It has been wonderful seeing you around tonight, so thank you so much for popping in, and thank you so much to you too, Jaya. It has been a wonderful 2 hours, and it's been a great way for me to at least get myself forcing me to play some of the songs that I have been grumpy about. Thank you, Mo, and it's been wonderful. You have a wonderful afternoon or whatever time zone you're in. I don't know. Everyone just have a wonderful time. You know where I will be. I will be living on Discord. I will be living on the computer. I will be uploading the other crap to my YouTube channel from the Carmen Sandiego folk music freakout stuff that is going to be going online tonight. And yeah, keep poking at me. I'll poke at you guys. And if you guys are off doing your own streams, let me know so that I can stop on by and pester you too. Live long and prosper. Yeah, mess up the outro. Live long and prosper, you guys. Have a wonderful one.